Hi guys, how's it going? Tom here, the Totnes Treasure Hunter. So I thought today I would sort of go through what you get in the box, how to put it all together, a little bit of a setup guide, and go through with the X10 Pro sort of how to listen out for different tones. So I've got some various different metals on me. Unfortunately no gold, but I've got various different metals so you can have a good understanding of sort of, if you buy this, what you would like to do, or like how to set it up, how to go forwards, how to calibrate and everything like that, and what to listen out for when you actually do go out. I thought that might be quite important. It's the sort of thing that I wish I'd learned about. I know when I was looking up the X10 Pro, I found so few videos. So I just thought, you know what, let's do this, and I'll do a good sort of in-depth one. So it'll be a bit cutty and a bit, I'll pause it here and there and we'll go through, and I don't know how long it's going to be. Fingers crossed not too long, so I can have a bit of a hunt in as well. But yeah, so that's the idea of today. So we've got the X10 Pro. On my screen it's backwards, so hopefully it's not for you. So yeah, it's waterproof, high recovery speed, and it's a metal detector, believe it or not. Yeah, X10 Pro. So yeah, fast processing and low power consumption microchip. I really don't charge this enough. I wait until it's practically depleted and I can get out and do a good, I don't know, 6-hour day easy, and it's only knocked down, there are 3 different bars on there. So it knocks down 1 bar possibly. Yeah, I could go through a month easily of just doing a little dabble twice a week of an hour, and then you stick it on charge and it's charged in like 4 hours. It's really brilliant in that. Waterproof and sleek control box. I mean, they all look very similar, so sleek, I suppose it is. And lightweight, carbon shielded turbo coil. The coil is very good. You can actually get third-party coils to connect to this. I haven't got any, and I'd love to try, because you can get some bigger coils, which obviously it affects the depth slightly, but I think I might be wrong. Yeah, but obviously it changes the way that the coil works, if that makes sense. So if you're this one's brilliant, especially if you're in a smaller area. If you're in a big field with low cut grass, the big coil might actually be like a better thing, but regardless, on with the show. So yeah, inside the box, what you do, you get instruction manual. Go through that. I'd go through that a couple of times. I mean, it is quite informative. It is, well, actually, this, in fact, it's just a catalogue, but it does come with a with an instruction book, which is a teeny ditty one, just this one. But yes, yeah, go through that a couple of times. I had my friend chuck in a it's the NCMD guide to detecting, because I was just starting out. Standard Android app. Do not metal detect there. We've got a couple of stickers, Treasure Sports and Quest metal detectors, just in case you're that way inclined. I've never decorated anything with them, but it'd be nice to. I love Quest, so you get a couple of covers. These I haven't really used. I think they're more for transport, so they don't get dirty. There's also one, if I can find it, bear with me. Just in here, I think. That's it. So it's an extra connector that goes in. So this is the charger port. But when it's not in use, sorry, I've taken everything apart so I can show you it going together. But the charger port's just here, so it is just a turn and screw, and it's a standard, I can't think of the fitting, the rounder one of the, most Samsungs and things have them these days. Yeah, so that pops in there, screws up nice and tight so it's still waterproof, and that's how you connect wired headphones. So that's quite good. I'll pop that back in there because I don't tend to use that. Righties, so in the box you get one coil with a big old wire and your connection there. You get 3 different rods. One at the bottom here has the connector to the coil just there, and the middle one is just a standard length, and the other, I haven't taken all this apart because I haven't got a screwdriver on me, but so this connects the main unit is separate. This all connects. It's a bit fiddly, I will add that. I mean, it's really light, and it's really good and easy, but it can be a little bit fiddly. So it's got a torch on the bottom here if you tend to use that. If I remember correctly, there's a button on the side here, volume and torch. So you can use that, volume up, volume down, and torch, whatever. So what you do, first off, take this main piece. This is the bottom of your detector. So it's also got I'm not sure if you can make it out, but it's got 1 to 10 inches on the side there, just in case you want to measure things up against each other. So pop that one on there. Obviously push down your little metal thing. It's a bit dirty, so it might be a little bit fiddly, but I am 6'7", so I tend to have it on the biggest setting. This one off, and it already almost looks like a metal detector. Obviously, yeah, like I said, these were separate, but it's so light. Literally, it's so light. So when you connect your coil, this is quite important. I actually did this wrong, and a gentleman on YouTube who was very helpful told me I had my coil on the wrong way around. So the longest part, this bit here, it goes forward facing. I thought it was a complete mirror of itself, which is not. So yes, so obviously make sure everything's the correct way. Pop that one in there. It comes with a very plastic bulb. Obviously, with it being quite a cheap machine, a lot of the screws and things, I mean, they are very cheap. I've had a part break on me, and I mean, it's very easy to fix, but I mean, it's a bit of a shame. So yeah, plastic to plastic. So that pops through here. Excuse me. Pull that back so that can give fit. So you tighten that one up there. And the tighter you make this, the less likely you're going to have wiggle of your coil. I tend to do it so it's quite easy if I'm changing gradient, just to push slightly on these, just to change the angle. So it's just, I don't want it fixed. I quite like it with a little bit of flex. Yeah, that's sort of about right. So next up, so you've got a big old long coil here. What you want to do is tightly wrap that as tight as you can, really, although you need to leave enough slack at the end. So wrap this around so it's not dragging around, it's not affecting anything. And what this does is this connects just on here. So obviously it needs to be loose enough but tight enough, if that makes any sense at all. So I've probably actually gone slightly tight here, so if I tweak that a little bit looser, there we go. So that connects in here. It's a weird cross connection, so it's really easy to get it on. And screw that nice and tight, just to obviously make that waterproof and to make that correct. So coil nice and tight, a little bit here, lovely jubbly. And that is how you set up your metal detector. I'll pause you now and then I'll go through how to set it up on the actual screen. Right? Just here. I have started digging, although I haven't completed. I thought this would be a perfect opportunity just to show you and the people who are watching the Quest X10 Pro sort of tutorial how I go about and what I recommend when you're searching. So in here we've got a good sound effect, nice and slow when you swing the coil. Oh, actually this is a big target, but hey ho, we'll carry on anyway. So yeah, nice and slow, listen around and sort of circle the target. Circle the target and see if it sounds the same all the way around. Obviously now I would use the pinpoint function and find where it sounds. There, sounds like the closest. So what I do now, which I've already started doing, is pop the spade in and start working your way around. So push in, there's a root there, pull slightly, come round, pull slightly, pull my trousers up so you're not looking at the pants, push in, pull slightly, and you should feel it easing up. Push in, push in. So the people that don't need to know this, I'm sorry, and it's probably a bit overkill, but so pull the clod out and it's just there. So now I get the metal detector again, just to check whether it's still in the hole, which it is, or whether it's in the clod, and you'll hear that. So yeah, it's still in the hole. Use the pinpointer just to see how deep we got to go, which isn't very far, thankfully. We've got a big old root here. Just obviously try not to, if you can go round them, go round them. So dig it up and try and put it in the same sort of area so you can be as tidy as possible. Right, so we've gone quite deep here. So let's just check now. Obviously, careful where your shovel is. So we're on it, basically. Because if you hit your shovel, it tells you you've hit the metal. That sound effect, also, you've hit the metal. I'm just going to check that you can actually still see everything. Yeah. So, it is a big hunk of iron, unfortunately. Yeah, that happens, unfortunately. What I'm assuming is it was spherical. Not spherical, it was circular. So if it's circular, obviously it gives off better sound effect. So to tidy up, obviously, normally a lot more shallow, take out what you find, pull in as much as you can, because obviously anywhere we have a permission, we don't want to leave it messy. So tidy it up as best as you can. And this big pile. I always get told how tidy I am with my where I'm digging, and I sort of pride myself on that, actually. When putting the soil back in the hole, if you've made it very small like I have, sometimes it's a little bit like a tent. As soon as you take it out of the bag, you can't get it back in, but do your best, it will flatten down. Pop the cloth back in, and what I tend to do is just stamp the perimeter. So now no one can trip over your hole, and actually you can barely see where it was, short of the soil around, which as soon as you've had a rain it will go. But yeah, that was a big old dig for a full load of nothing. So I was actually incorrect. There are, in fact, you go on here, sorry, let me be able to view it. Ooh, excuse me, with the reflections. There we go. So there are 6 different sound channels. So if we go on one, so right down here, I've got a nice big Roman coin. So obviously that's bronze, or a mixture of bronze and something else. I've got my silver sixpence just there. Standard 1 penny, so copper coin, and I have a lead musket ball just there for you. Right, so if I put this over the bronze, sounds very samey, doesn't it? I mean, they're all fairly in the same range of sounds, but you'll see in a moment. So I'll change through to channel 2. So there you go. So there's a bit of a grunt on that one, which is quite an important sound. which is also a bit of an iron grunt. Oh, excuse me. There we go. So I'm just going to pick that back up, just there. So let's try channel 3. Here we go. So Roman coin, silver. So you'll hear that that's slightly higher. Maybe not. It always sounds slightly cleaner. Again, you've sort of got to tune your ear. See, on channel 1 there was no discrimination on that whatsoever. And on this one, I mean, anything that sounds like that you dig, but if I had some gold it would be a lot of a lower tone, but I don't, unfortunately. So let's try channel 4, which is my favourite. So nice and high on that one. Beep, 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 beep. And that's 86 on here. 86, 87. If you can get a stable number that sounds like that, dig away, my friend. I mean, anything that sounds relatively like that. So listen to this one. 85, 86. This one here, 74. 74, 75. That's bang on the silver money. Bronze, 80, 87. But you can hear the difference. And if we come over to the copper coin, it's sort of all over the shop. 70s and then down to the 20s, 30s. Anything that gives you a big old grunt like that I tend to avoid, but it depends. If things are slow, dig them. And again, so 70 mark, yeah, high 70s, there you got some lead. 90s, excuse me, oh no, sorry, 70s, lead, same as silver. Bronze, 90s, 80s, 90s, around that mark. And coppers, 80s, 30, 80, 30, 80, 30. So there's quite a lot of, it's quite interesting, like listening to the different tones. I'll see if I can find just a standard horrible tone for you. There we go. It's amazing how close that sounds to the 1p. It's slightly lower in number, so I wouldn't be advising to dig. I mean, then again, if you're just starting out, dig away. Everything, dig everything, every different sound effect. Unless it's completely but then again, if you don't dig it, you don't know. You could have, I don't know, a piece of Roman rust. It's just best to dig it. Have a little play around. And yeah, it's so important just to get your ear into those tones. The lower the tone, I mean, I can't say that the lower the tone, the more, the worse it is. Because like at the top here shows you, at the bottom 2 blocks here, they class that as ferrous. So that is the lowest grunt you could possibly have. Coins and silver tend to be in the top 3, and gold, bronze, rings, although the bronze, like I said, it was higher than the silver. So gold, bronze and rings tend to be in the middle. So shape has a big old part in this. So almost everything I have given you here has been round. And I always find that round things are the most... They sort of scream at you. They're the louder items. Unless they're massive, they tend to be absolutely ginormous. Oh, here you go. Here's a bit of ferrous iron that I dug up. and I just popped it by this tree the other day, and I meant to pick it up and didn't. So there you go, 20s. A little bit of a nice sound somewhere, but that was what it used to sound like, so yeah, absolutely. Right, I'll leave you with that, and oh wait, sorry, I was going to show you, this is my bad, I'll show you the other two settings in a minute. So channel 5, it's very similar. It's sort of just, I don't know, it almost sounds a little quieter, a little less obvious, to me anyway. It might just be my own ear or just personal preference. So channel 6 is a bit of a weird one. You hear that? There's so much, like a back tone to it almost. And it works the coil very peculiar. See? Try that on the ferrous bit of metal over here. When you get an item, also try and circle it. Sorry, excuse me, there's a bit of a motorbike there. Yeah, almost circle it. If it's under the ground, it will always be slightly, obviously, less loud than this. And just have a little play around, because it's amazing how something can sound like this, but you turn around and it sounds like that iron. So, yeah, no, it's really important to do that. Have a little play around. And I think that's the end one, isn't it? So I'm going to put that back to channel 4 because that's my favourite. And I think that sort of concludes it. Yeah. If you have any other questions or you want to know any more, please let me know. Like I said, I needed something like this. I needed someone to sort of tell me some of these bits. But I've sort of gone through and I've worked it out myself. And I thought, you know what? I will try and share this. I wish I could share with you more these items here, the coins, and I mean, they are what they say. You switch up to all metal. This one's a bit of a funky one, and it's like you're always pinpointing, but there is no difference to it. So that one's not for me. So sorry, this is my bad. I've gone for dumb. So coin mode. I think what that does is it's just it's taken out the bottom of the ferrous metals there. I don't know whether that's, I mean, you can do that manually, so you can go through and if you put settings excuse me, you can go through on here, take these out, so you've got just the gold, silver, bronze. Again, you know, if you're after something that's iron that you've lost under your house or in the garden, just take out everything bar the ferrous. But yeah, so sorry, I didn't show you how to do that. So if you push settings, you'll see it flashing up here. So you go through, go down, scroll through, and it would just go through one, and you just push the settings button again. It would take that one off. So go through all metal, coins, and you can go and program this yourself. I haven't done so it seems silly for me to go through that one for you. So I'll set that one back up, and I'm actually going to go out for a small hunt now. It won't be very long, but I'll add it. I'll add it as a separate video. But I really hope you, well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. It's just something that I needed when I was starting out. So yeah, if you need to know anything else, or if you like it, please let me know. If I've just been rambling, tell me so. I know I do. I'm very tired, and it's so easy to ramble, especially when as soon as you put a video on yourself. It's like listening to yourself back or through any sort of recording. It always sort of grates on you. But I'm still, although I've been doing quite a few videos, I'm still not massively comfortable. So yeah, I'm sorry if I've been babbling slightly. I've just tried to get all the information through without having a list. And maybe I should have just had a list and gone through it and been a bit more of a robot when I went through it. But at least now you should know almost everything. If you need anything else, just let me know. Please like, please subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. And yeah, God bless. Cheers.